Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this video where you're going to learn how you can turn positive cold email responses to booked meetings by sending follow-up emails. So, I'm excited to get this video on the road. Let's get right into it. There's 4 things that we're going to be covering here, and don't mind me throughout the video, I'm just going to be moving my face around. But the 4 things we're going to be covering is why should you follow up, what not to send in follow-up emails, what to actually send in follow-up emails, and how to follow up to quite literally the end of time. So, let's get right into it. So why follow up in the first place, right? Well, you have to understand that your prospects are extremely busy. So whether they're a CEO of like a SaaS startup or a HR manager of a construction company, these people have things going on both in their work life and outside of it. So just picture this really quick for a second. Let's say you're the marketing manager of a health and wellness company of 50 employees. You know, you show up to work every single day. You're trying to build brand awareness for your team using paid ads and content. And the CEO asks you to find creative ways to bring new patients into your clinics. You try different funnels and creative for your ads, but to no avail. You also have a wife and kids, and one of your kids is getting bad grades in school, so you're worried about how you're going to sort him out, right? So, do you see how many things are actually going on in that prospect's life? They have literally a million things going on from their job to their family life, whatever it may be, right? This is why even if someone replies positively to your cold email, they ghost you because they're so busy. They have so many other things going on in their life. And because of this, you must follow up with their prospects until you book them in for a call. That's the only way. So, but really quickly, why should you listen to me, right? Who am I to tell you all this stuff? Well, my name is Ariel. Me and my company, Gamic Media, send almost 100,000 cold emails every single month. And we've worked with many different types of offers and industries, ranging from video production, SaaS, insurance, PR, Google Ads, SEO, and much, much more. Here are some of the results that we got for our clients. You can watch the interviews on my channel. We help Deep Social at about $270,000 in revenue in 8 months. We helped Magnuson Film book 25 meetings, close 2 deals, and including one of the dream clients who wants to work with them for life. And here's some other screenshots. You can take a look at my channel. I would say I have a pretty good knowledge of cold email related things, right? So here's what not to send in cold email follow-ups. So don't send things like, hey, I'm just following up here. Hey, I'm just bumping this up. This sounds extremely automated and boring. Like the prospect can easily tell that you're either being lazy or it's just automated. Like they can just sniff it from a mile away. They can be like, okay, this guy he's putting in no effort into this. Why should I hop on a call with him, right? It's kind of like, it's kind of like sending a birthday card for all, it's kind of like sending the same birthday card for all your friends' birthdays. It's not very special. So let's say you have, a friend group of like 5 or 10 people, and for every single friend's birthday, you give them the same exact card every single time. And it's just lazy. It's like, put in more effort, right? Like, why are you not putting in more effort? Don't send these either. Just don't send like, hey, just circling back here, or hey, first name, any thoughts? And again, these all sound automated and boring, especially if you consistently send this every single time. And don't mind the spelling error there. But you sound lazy, and you overall lower your status to the prospect when you send things like this. So don't do it. And the reason why you lower your status here is you have to think that, marketing and sales it's a little bit of a status game, right? Who has kind of like the frame, right? This is more of a sales thing, but even in cold email it can kind of apply, where it's like if you just sound lazy, the prospect in their subconscious mind will be like, okay, this guy is just lazy and he's not even putting in any effort to even, follow up nicely, or at least go the extra mile to try to get me on a call. Why should I get on a call with a lazy person or with somebody who puts in no effort? Then they might not think this consciously, but subconsciously they're thinking that because your email or your follow-up sounds extremely lazy, right? You're kind of like the telemarketer who consistently calls your phone. And we've all been there. We've all had those random ass calls. Or somebody keeps calling us and you're like, okay, I'm going to answer. You answer and then they say, hey, do you have time to talk about our special offer about this, and like, it just sounds so boring. It sounds so lazy. It sounds so automated. Nobody cares, right? So do not send just following up, just circling back here. Now that we've gotten that out the way, here's actually what to send. So here's 5 types of follow-ups that we send at our agency, and they work pretty well. So you can send Loom videos. You can send case study breakdown, whether that be a text or a PDF. You can send pattern interrupts. You can be like, hey, can I reach out to somebody else at your company? Or you can send like relevance-based follow-ups. So you can use them more than once and in many different ways. So let me just break down how. So for the Loom video, you can take two approaches. And I'm going to make myself smaller here and go right here. Actually, yeah, I'll go right here. So you can take two approaches for a Loom video, right? You either record a Loom that breaks down a case study of one of your clients that's most similar to the prospect. Or you can record a video of yourself talking about how you would help the prospect achieve the end result by using their services or offer. So either A, record a Loom video breaking down a case study of somebody who's similar to them. So let's say you're reaching out to physical therapy clinics. Record a Loom video of how you helped another physical therapy clinic and record that whole case study breakdown there. Or you could just send a video about, how we'd help you, book 10 to 20 meetings over the next few months using our cold email infrastructure, right? For example. So, and then I have some listed examples here, but it's the same thing, right? Hey, I recorded a 3-minute video breaking down of how we helped company name achieve X. Can I send it here? Or hey, I made a 3-minute video breaking down on how we'd help you save 20 to 40 hours a month on your clinic operations using our software. Can I send it here? So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But the whole benefit of having a Loom video is the prospect gets to see your face. You have to realize that this is cold traffic. You're a complete stranger to them. You don't know who you are. They don't know what you do. They don't know what your company does. So really all they care about is what you can do for them. They don't care about how much things, what you've accomplished really. I mean, it matters somewhat, but most people are not going to care, right? They're more so interested in what you can do for them. So if you can record a video like this, have your face on there and just talk enthusiastically about, hey, here's how we'd help you do this, or hey, here's like a case study of a company that's similar to you, they're going to like you and trust you even more. So Loom video is a very, very good follow-up. The second is a case study breakdown. So for this, you can just send a simple overview of a case study that's similar to them. So like the Loom video, essentially. So just make sure you include the context of who the company was, the before and after, and a simple call to action asking if they'd be open to hearing on how you to help them do the same. So for example, hey, John, just wanted to break down our case study with Nike. Nike is an athletic brand that had a problem with their click-through rate on their ads. Since working with them, we've helped them increase their click-through rate by 27%. Would you be open to learning on how we'd do the same for you? And again, that's just an example, but that's just give context on what type of company they are. And then say, hey, this is the problem they had. Since working with us, they've gotten this end result. And then would you be open to learning on how we'd help you do the same? Fantastic. Now, alternatively, if you have, let's say, a PDF of the case study, you can send that as well. Just make sure that it's easily digestible for the prospect and isn't too long. So if you have a PDF of a case study breakdown and it's like 15 pages, they're not going to read that, bro. They're not going to read that. People's attention spans are super short nowadays, and quite frankly, they're not going to care. It could be like even if it's a big brand, they will care, but you will get more meetings booked if you just optimize it to be smaller. So just shorter, excuse me. So just make it like a one-pager, make it easily digestible, make it so the prospect can just consume it in like 3 to 5 minutes max. So that's how you should do a PDF. And then here's how you pitch an email. Hey, I have a PDF that breaks down on how we helped, X company achieve Y result. Can I share it with you here? Again, fantastic. You can send multiple case study breakdowns. You can send multiple PDFs over the course of follow-ups. Works out very, very well. Pattern interrupts, right? This is one of my favorites. So here you just want to catch their attention with something that they usually never see. You can add humor by sending memes. You can make it random by sending emojis, or quite literally just talk about your day. So for example, hey John, as I was drinking my morning coffee today, I accidentally spilled it on my keyboard, and while cleaning the keys, it led me to your email. Just wanted to see if now is a better time to discuss offer. And the reason why things like this work is it's so random. Like, who sends this type of email out? Like, what? Like, who comes up with this? This is such a good pattern interrupt because it'll catch their attention and be like, what the hell? Like, what type of email is this? You know what? I like the creativity, and then they'll reply to you, right? So that's the reason why it works. Or, you can just send something like an emoji, right? And it ends up working out. It's working out pretty well. This is actually a call that I booked for one of my clients using that. Shout out to Christian from Client Ascension for this. The whole point here is just to be different than everything else to get in their inbox and catch their attention. Again, it could literally, you can send memes. I know some people send the Kermit meme in cold email. You could just make it random, send these emojis, like an inspector emoji. And then you could just talk about your day like this. And this actually didn't happen, but it actually, like, it's so funny and random. It actually sounds like it makes sense and actually did happen, right? So you could just steal that. I'm sure it'll work out pretty well. Yeah. The next one is a relevance-based follow-up. So for this, just go to the prospect's LinkedIn or the company LinkedIn and just browse their feed and use what they've been recently talking about in your email copy. It could literally be as simple as, hey, John, saw your post on LinkedIn about why the hiring process is critical to scaling a company. You brought up some great points in that post. Just wanted to see if now is a better time to discuss offer. And then here it's like, okay, hey, I might be a stranger. I might be, trying to pitch you something, but at least it's not automated, one, and at least two, I'm actually caring about what you post and what you think and what you are putting out there, right? So it's just a matter of just adding a little bit of personalization and just actually showing that you care about the prospect, and you're not just some sleazy salesman trying to get the sale, right? So that works out pretty well. If they don't have a LinkedIn, for example, you could also use their social media. And then for this example below, if they don't have a LinkedIn, you can just use their company LinkedIn. Just be a little careful with social media. You don't want to be like a stalker. don't just be like, hey, I just saw your. It's a little like there's a fine line, right? It's a little weird if you say something like, hey, I saw that your son just graduated from this elementary school. That's great to hear. Like that's a little weird. But you can there's a fine line, and you will kind of know that fine line just by gauging it out. But for this example below, I just pretended they don't have the prospect doesn't have a LinkedIn, and instead I just used their company LinkedIn, right? So you can say, hey, name, congratulations on acquiring Series A funding for your company. Excited to see how far you guys can grow. Wanted to reach back out and see if booking 5 to 10 qualified calls a month is still a priority for you guys, ? And here you can just replace the 5 to 10 qualified calls a month with your offer, essentially, right? But yeah. And then a quick note here is you should send a connection request as soon as you get a positive email reply. It literally boosts the chances of yourself. It boosts your chance of booking a meeting. And shout out to Ryan Bryden for this tip. Another great cold email guy. Go follow him on YouTube, or subscribe to him on YouTube. But the reason why this works is, again, you're a stranger. You're selling to cold traffic. They don't know who you are. So if you come in there and you get a positive response, let's just imagine you from the prospect. The prospect replies yes, right? They get an email back, kind of like detailing how your services work or how your products work, with like a call to asking for the time. And then they go on their LinkedIn and they see your face, they see your company, they see all the other case studies you have on your LinkedIn or your achievements or accomplishments, whatever it may be. It just helps build that little layer of trust, because again, you go from being a stranger with no face to actually a real live person that has done this for other people in the past. So the boost might be a little small in terms of the actual percentage increase of your chances of booking a meeting, but it still works, and it's quite literally takes like less than a minute. So I recommend it a lot. And shout out to Ryan Bright again. Now this is usually the last one, or not the last one. I believe this is the last one. The last one here is just reaching out to somebody else. So this is usually our last resort, but you're basically just asking the prospect if there's somebody else at the company that you can contact. So for example, hey, name, I reached out to you a few times and we haven't been able to connect, ... Is there anybody else at your company who might be better suited to discuss offer, right? So is there anybody else at your company who might be better suited to discuss 5 to 10 qualified calls a month? Is there anybody else at your company who's better suited to discuss, saving hours on your legal operations using our software, that type of thing. So just put your offer in there, and then this is usually our last resort, but usually people will reply and say, hey, reach out to this person, or this person's actually a better fit, or try this guy, that type of thing. So this is pretty good. Now, hold up. Yeah. Now, you're going to follow up to the end of time. So like I mentioned, your prospects are busy with work and life, so they're often hard to reach. So this is why if they've expressed interest in your services or product even once, you have to follow up with them until the end of time. Like quite literally, follow up with them until they say F off or you book them in for a meeting. That's our philosophy here. You can send variations of the methods that I talked about above quite literally hundreds of times. And you can even automate the entire process. Here's how. So inside Smart Lead, and we're going to be using Smart Lead by the way, inside Smart Lead you can tag leads as a certain type of reply. So for example, if a lead is out of office, you can tag them as so. In our case, we're going to use this to our advantage and tag positive response with something different. So go to the settings tabs on Smart Lead and click on lead categories, and you should be left with this type of screen here with all of this stuff, right? Then what you're going to do is you're going to add a new category, and you can name it whatever you want. So for context, here's what I went with. So I just put positive response, category sentiment positive, and then whatever color. Now once you've done that, you're going to go back to the campaigns that you're currently running and click on the one you want to try this for. So you can just try it for one for now, and just click on it. Then once you're here, you're going to click on add a new, you're going to go to subsequences and add a new subsequence and go with these settings below. So you're going to click on add a new subsequence, and you're going to go with this, right? You're going to be using the tag that you created in the second column right here. And essentially, if a lead is marked as this tag, they'll be enrolled in a subsequence where you send them all of the follow-up emails automatically as if they were part of another campaign. So for example, if you got a positive response that a guy said he's interested, could you send more information? And you end up sending more information, but he ends up not replying to you, right? What you can do is go to the subsequence, go to the campaign, go to the subsequence, and essentially mark him as that tag, and he'll be put in like a mini campaign. You can think of it like a mini campaign. He'll be put in like a mini campaign where he'll get sent like a drip email sequence, 5, 6, 7 steps, however many you want, of follow-ups with all of the variations that I mentioned above. So all automated, by the way. So this is fantastic because you can really do this for every single campaign. It's so good. You can do this for every single campaign, and it's all automated. You don't have to manually sit there and type out all the responses. Now, once you've inputted the settings above, you can start adding all of the follow-up emails in the sequence. So use the follow-up templates, or not the templates, but the ideas that I gave you above, and then just put them in a sequence. And here's the cadence that we use at our agency. So the first follow-up, if they don't reply, it'll be after the first day. So for example, right, if I go back up here, I have add leads to subsequence after 1 day. So let's say the guy doesn't reply. I click on positive response, let's say tag, and then after 1 day, it enrolls them into the subsequence and then starts sending it out. So the first follow-up is the first day, the second is 3 days, the third is 5 days, and then the fourth, and if you want to make it 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, I do it every 7 to 10 days. It really just depends. Every week or so is pretty good, but I like to space it out over a period of time, right? Now again, remember to use a mix of everything above, and you could quite literally follow up until the end of time. Like if you just mix all the case studies, all the Loom videos, all the random pattern interrupts, whatever it may be, you could literally follow up till the end of time until you book them in for a meeting. But one quick note is, since it's automated, you can't really use the relevance follow-up, right? Like you can't really, it's hard to do that for every prospect because every prospect will have different relevant stuff. So I just recommend you do that manually, honestly. But for everything else, you can definitely automate it. Now, so final thoughts here are, your prospects are busy, so they might ghost you even if they've replied positively to your message. The answer to solving this is to enroll them in a subsequence that follows up with them forever. You quite literally want, like I said earlier, you want to follow up with them until you book a meeting with them or they tell you to fuck off. If you're not, you're leaving money on the table from a prospect that you could have turned into a paying customer. So I hope you guys found something of value in this video. Please do this because you will book more meetings, and it's honestly with the subsequence automation, it's so simple. Smartly makes it super easy to follow up with somebody like for a long period of time. So hope you found something valuable. And if you are an agency or any type of B2B business that's making over $30,000 a month, book a time with me and we'll book your next 3 calls for free. With all that said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you can implement this into your current campaigns, and I'll speak with you next time. Peace out.